Welcome to the first edition of Camp Crafts, where we take a look at the creations traditionally made while away at summer camp. Our first edition features the friendship bracelet. You will need a paper plate, scissors, pencil, 7 18-inch pieces of colored yarn, and a ruler. I'm going to take my plate, anything that you have that you aren't using that you have around the house, and I'm going to cut a circle out of it. You want the plate to be fairly sturdy. You can do this out of cardboard, but a plate is easier to cut. And I'm drawing a circle as my guide to cut out. I use my pencil cup holder for the size. Any size will really work. You just don't want it super small, but anything that your hands can hold will be great. So I'm cutting out my plate, following the guide that I made with my pencil. This is not exact. Your edges don't need to be perfect. This is going to be your loom for the creation of the friendship bracelet. I'm gonna eyeball where the middle is and draw a pretty large circle because I'm gonna cut that out later. And even if you're off, which I clearly am a little bit, it doesn't matter too much. You're gonna use your ruler to draw straight lines. And we wanna do quarters first and then divide the quarters in half so that we have 8 sections for our loom. Now with the point of my scissors, I'm going to gently, parents, you can do this for your kids. I'm going to make a pretty big hole because I'm gonna need to be able to get all pieces of yarn through just by rotating back and forth to get that hole. This is why I like using a paper plate rather than cardboard, because cardboard is going to be harder to cut out and get a hole through. But depending on age, cardboard would last longer. I'm also going to make sure that I cut halfway up each line, but not all the way to the center. This will finish the cuts for our loom. With my yarn gathered, I'm going to make a loop at one end. So what I've done is twisted them together, pinched a loop with my thumb, come around, and then tuck those ends from the top underneath the loop I just made. And this is gonna take a little work. It's gonna be a little snug, which is good. Make sure they're all in there, and then pull it as tightly as you can, keeping that loop separate. Work it up so that you have a nice snug loop opening. Yes, I am aware that I've also used gator colors in this activity, so if I've lost you already, I'm sorry, Seminoles fans. It's what I had on hand. And there we go. We have a nice loop at the end of our string. So we're gonna thread the opposite end of our yarn all the way through our loom so that the free ends are dangling out the side with our pencil marks. Once I have my strings pulled through, I'm gonna load up my loom. So take a string and put it in each slot. I'm alternating colors, which I think has a pretty cool pattern when we're done. So I'm going blue, orange, blue, orange, blue, orange. When I'm finished, there will be one slot that does not have a piece of yarn in it, which makes sense. 8 slots, 7 pieces of yarn, you get it. Now I have that empty slot, and from there I'm counting up 3 places. I'm taking that 3rd place string and bringing it to my empty slot. And then I'm going to repeat the process. Here's my empty one, and I'm going to count up 1, 2, 3. And again, bring that 3rd piece down into the empty slot. And we're going to continue this for a very long time. Again, empty, 1, 2, 3. Pick up that orange piece and put it down into the empty slot. I'm rotating so that the slat is always in the same place, but you don't have to. Just remember to count back 3 and bring it down. So it should look like your yarn is crossing over. The orange one, or sorry, the blue one crosses over those 2 pieces and then comes down. And you repeat this process for as long as it takes. This is perfect to do in the car on a long trip. So let's take a look. So as you're braiding, you're bringing this cool pattern that's falling down through your loom. So you can check your progress as you go. And then we're done. We have this long piece of string that's so pretty interwoven. And the way we take it out is really just remove those strings from our loom. And I've made this one really long, but it's easy to trim up. So I suggest going long, plus it's really fun. And that way you can shorten it. So at the ends I have remaining, I did trim those up already a little bit, opposite of my loop, which should still be there. I just want to make sure that it fits pretty well, goes around my wrist. Great, so we're gonna pull that string through the loop, and this does take a little bit of practice. A friend or a parent would be great to help you here. And I can see how much excess I have, so I'm going to trim that up. Pretty cool, love the pattern. So at the end, I'm just making a simple half knot to complete. So this is opposite of the loop, pulling it tight, and then what you want to do is just fray out those edge pieces so that it's nice and decorative. And this takes time and longer nails than I have right now, but that fray will look nice when it's on the wrist. And this is really so simple, and obviously the better you get at it, the more fun it is. You can change up your colors, you can do more than one color, you can play with it. And there you have it. You can pull through, and there is a lovely friendship bracelet to even snail mail to your friends over the summer. I'm Chelsea Young with the Mulberry Cultural Center. Thanks for watching.